All right, welcome everybody to this live Ivory Coast versus Cameroon. It's been quite an interesting game so far, though. Quite an interesting game. Ivory Coast actually doing a really good job on Cameroon. It's been end to end, and quite interesting game. We are seeing very quite interesting. What I think that the game we are going to Ahmad and Mbuemo have been prominent in today's game. Yeah, they've been prominent, and they look like two of the players that might just be able to make it count for their teams. Yes, they are looking like two of the players that might just make it count for their team. So it's been an interesting 27 minutes played. Yeah, a good one. Interesting 27 minutes play. Manchester United. Oh, yeah, and I think Frank Kessie with the ball. Ivory Coast hoping to break out. Yeah, Ivory Coast are hoping to break out from this one. Ivory Coast hoping to break out. Yeah, Ivory Coast are hoping to break out from this one. Ivory Coast hoping to break out. Yeah, Ivory Coast are hoping to break out from this one. Ivory Coast hoping to break out. Yeah. Ivory Coast are hoping to break out from this one. Ivory Coast hoping to break out. Yeah. So guys, it's a good one, yeah. So far I think that the game has been even. They've Ivory Coast against Cameroon, it has been even. Ahmad has had few chances to create goals for his team, but then it's not been coming so far. But at the end of the day, these two teams are giving their best so far, and it's quite interesting what we are seeing from both Ivory Coast and Cameroon. That's a beautiful ball. Yeah, that's a beautiful ball. But then the Ivory Coast defense is alert, and they're trying to get in their attackers on the ball, trying to play out from the back. Beautifully done. Yes, the Cameroonian looks also very solid. They look very solid, very determined. Ivory Coast has an opportunity to create a chance, but then it's not too big as the solid Cameroon centre backs try to make sure that they keep the ball away from the Ivory Coast. It's actually looking a very good game so far. Yes, actually, it's actually looking a very very good game so far. Ivory Coast are trying to make sure that they are on the front foot. Trying to make sure that they catch I am Cameroon off guard, but then it's not happening for them. This is African football. This is African football, and the two teams are having a very good go at each other. Ahmad is on this one. He plays it successfully, and oh wow, wow, that was supposed to be a goal, but then Ahmad Diallo's cutback was oh that actually this is actually beautiful from Ahmad. This is very very tricky, very trickish. Ahmad is one tricky player that we all know. We know how tricky Ahmad can be, and at this moment, Cameroon has a corner. Sorry, Ivory Coast has a corner. Ivory Coast have a corner. They want to play. They have a corner, and it is going to be taken by Ahmad. Ahmad is taking the corner, so we are going to be seeing what we are going to be seeing. And a good cross from Ahmad, edged out by the Cameroonian defense, and he puts in another one, and that has been headed to the touchline by an Ivory Coast player. That is a goal kick, yeah, goal kick for Goal kick for Cameroon. Sorry, goal kick. That's a goal kick for Cameroon. It's been quite an interesting one, though. It's been quite an interesting. It's been quite an interesting one so far. It's been quite an interesting game so far. It's been quite an interesting game so far. We all know what we can get with African football, and right now we know that African football is actually really tough and interesting. And it was almost a goal for Ivory Coast, and that was a good punch by the goalkeeper, yeah, by the Cameroonian goalkeeper. That was a good punch. We understand why Andre Onana is not in this game. We now understand why, because Andre Onana is a player that you they, this the these guys cannot trust. These guys might not just be able to trust Andre Onana, and that is why I think that he is not in this game, right? And we can see out there Kylian Mbappe out there in Morocco supporting the AFCON. Yeah, we see Kylian Mbappe in the VIP booth coming out there to support to support the African football competition. The Cameroonians are trying to play out from the back. Actually, yes, Cameroon is trying to play out from the back. And welcome, guys, to all of you who has joined this live stream. Welcome. I appreciate you guys. You can click on the subscribe button, click on the notification button, and I will be here to make sure that I might take. Yeah, Kingsley, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. I'm just trying to. We are trying to stream this game. It has to do with Manchester United players Amad Diallo and Brian Mbuemo. So, and that is why we are streaming this live first half. Yeah, it's been quite an interesting game so far. They've been having a go at each other. Ivory Coast have almost broken the deadlock. Ahmad has been quite interesting today. He's been quite good, and we are yet to see the spark. We are yet to get a spark from Brian Mbuemo so far. Actually, I think that it's an interest. Yeah, exactly, Kingsley. Very interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting game, and I'm so far enjoying my United boys. You know, I'm seeing the impact they have on their teams. You know, they have serious impact on their teams, and that is very interesting. I just hope that they don't come back to Old Trafford with injuries, because we are missing them at Old Trafford. Actually, we are missing Brian Mbuemo and Amad Diallo. These two guys are very instrumental for Manchester United under Ruben Amorim, but we are missing them, and we hope that they don't leave this tournament injured. Yeah, yeah, that's actually an infringement. Yeah, an infringement on the Ivory Coast guy. Yeah, that I think it's an infringement by the referee. I'm watching the game because of my voice. Exactly, bro. Exactly. You know, that's why I tuned in, and that's why I wanted to come on live. You know, just to cheer up the boys. You know, they are some of our best players, by the way, some of our best players. So we have to cheer them up. You know, this is the kind of game where you don't have favorites. This is the type of game you don't have favorites. You don't know. You don't. There is you don't have any. You don't have anybody that you want to win. You just want to enjoy watching two of Manchester United best players have that go at each other, and they are playing on they are playing on the opposite side of the field. Yes, they are playing on the opposite side. Ahmad is playing on the right side of his, and then Buemo is also playing on the right side of the his Ahmad. Ahmad um is actually putting in so much. I tell you, I'm just enjoying the game. That's what I'm doing, enjoying the game, because it is look, Ahmad is actually giving everything in this game. I'm looking at him and I'm like, wow, don't go and get yourself injured, though, Mr. Ahmad Diallo. Hey, look at him. Ahmad and Mbuemo, look at them, the United boys. The United boys. I love them. I love them so much. You know, these guys have given so much to Manchester United this season. They've actually been very instrumental to Manchester United. Um, Ahmad, yeah, exactly. Ahmad is on another level. The guy, Ahmad is. I'll tell you something here. You know, this team, Ahmad is going to be very instrumental to the success of this Ivory Coast team, because he is very determined. He's a very, very serious player, and he's direct. And that's why I think that Ahmad is going to be very instrumental to this Ivory Coast team. He's going to be very instrumental. His stature does not matter. You know, his stature does not matter. Is that that is Carlos Baleba? Carlos Baleba tried to do that same thing he does at Brighton. You know, he tried to do same thing he does at Brighton, but it did not work out. Cameroonians are actually very strong. Cameroonians are actually really, really strong. And wow. I think that the Cameroonians are more physical than the Ivory Coast, but then I think Ivory Coast is more technical than the Cameroonians. They are more technical. They that is what I think. And look at that turn by Mbuemo. Look at that turn by Mbuemo. And oh wow, he did not get. Look at that turn. Look at that turn by Mbuemo. What beautiful. And Ivory Coast is on the break. Ahmad is on the ball, and he's looking at. He drops it. He drops, and this guy has been dispossessed. I actually don't know. I actually don't know the name of these players. Yeah, but then Mbuemo is trying to latch on that, but the ball goes out for it. A goal kick. The United boys are actually giving all that they can, and it makes it really interesting. Yeah, the game is going on very well. Ahmad on the ball one more time. He Ahmad is on the ball one more time. He's trying to get it. Oh no. That is a fine cross by Ahmad. And who was that? Bayo. No. That was a bad miss by Bayo. A bad miss by Bayo. No. That was a bad miss by Bayo. That was excellent cross, exquisite cross from Ahmad. Very beautiful cross, well weighted, directed properly and onto Ahmad. And that was supposed to be a very beautiful goal and a very good assist from Ahmad. But then Bayo skies it. Bayo, why? Bayo should not have done that. Bayo skies it. He should not have done that. Bayo should not have skied that. That is actually not good enough. That's actually not good enough from Bayo. I actually feel like this game is very interesting, yeah. Ivory Coast look like they have a Ahmad is on the ball now, and he's covered up. He plays it back a very feeble cross into the 18-yard box of the Ivory Coast, but then they clear it. Cameroon has the chance to counter, and that's an infringement by the Ivory Coast defender. An infringement by the Ivory Coast defender. That's an infringement by the Ivory Coast defender. Oh no! Oh no! Ivory Coast are on the front foot in this game. A very beautiful ball played into the path of Ahmad, but the defender would not allow Ahmad breathe. The defender would not allow Ahmad breathe. Yeah, the defender would not allow Ahmad breathe. This is a chance for Ahmad to, and Cameroon are on the front foot. This is it's look Mbuemo runs into the offside. The Cameroon just had an opportunity right now. The Cameroon had opportunity to get in front. They had an opportunity to get in front, an opportunity to get into the counter-attacking position, but somehow that has been wasted. They had to return it back, and the Cameroonian team is trying to see if they can play out from the back. And that pass, that was a very lazy pass, anyways, into the part of into the throw-in. Now Ivory Coast has the ball. The throw-in has been taken, and Ivory Coast will be looking at playing out from the back. Also, the center backs are rotating the ball beautifully well, and that's a very good pass into the path. Oh no, misplaced pass from the Ivory Coast man into the Cameroonians have an opportunity to break, and that is actually a beautiful pass, but then stopped by the Ivory Coast player, played into the part of the defender. Defender looks for the midfielder. I don't know the name of these players anyway. I don't know the name of these players, but Ivory Coast looks a better team than Cameroon. I'm wondering what happens if any of these teams meet Nigeria. This game might end up draw. The two teams are trying. Yeah, exactly. You are right. You are very correct. The defense of the defense of both team is very active, and the first half has come to an end. The first half has come to an end, and we'll be back. We'll be back in the second half. All right, guys. We'll be back in the second half. Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate that.